Hi, welcome to another Memories Made with Jen Gallacher. This is a scrapbooking process series. In this series, I like to share a layout start to finish that focuses on a special memory I want to preserve. So I'm going to share some tips and tricks today and point you to some products you might consider if you want to recreate this layout or if you want to document a similar memory. Today I'm going to focus on books that I love to read, and if you are a reader, this might be a project you might consider making, or else if there's something else that you are passionate about, you can use this same kind of concept to create your own layout. So the first thing I'm going to start with is October Afternoon has some mini albums that are called chapters, and they simply come with a bunch of die-cut cards. Some have tabs and some do not, and I'm going to use this as part of the basis for my layout. So while I could use it for a album, I'm choosing to use it for something different. So look for new ways that you can use things, or if you're using it for an album, save out a few pieces and use it for another project. This particular paper is from Glitz Designs, and it's very thin. It would be great for decoupaging. It also can be used as scrapbook page elements, and I'm going to slightly off-center it like this. Then using my Silhouette die cut machine, I have created a white leaf shape, and this can be downloaded from the Silhouette store. And the nice thing about doing it from white is that adds a little bit of texture without going overboard. So it's just a subtle hint that a shape is there. If you have a more bold style, then perhaps you want to consider creating a darker leaf. And we're just going to tuck this a little bit right there. So Silhouette machine is great because you can cut your die cuts. This one is about 3 inches wide, and I could have made it larger or smaller depending on how I wanted the project to look. So you have a lot of options there. And then these are some brand new die cut cards from the Elle Studio collection. And I love that they've started to do these tabbed cards. I have a little bit of a tabbed card obsession. And so I really like that they have used these tabs. And it's in a soft color. This background paper is from American Crafts. Now I want to add some cute little flag stickers to bring a little bit of color up to this leaf. So I'm going to use some stickers from Jelly Bean Soup. This is from their Banner Bites. And you can make any banner shape into a flag by using either a push pin or a toothpick. When you're using a push pin, you just stick it into your page, and then you can add the shape of banner that you want. Now, in order to help it stay in place, I usually add a glue dot to the back of the sticker. That way it will stick both on the pin and to the page. And I'm going to stick this a little bit different. And this particular flag says Cherish. And then I have a green polka dot sticker. Again, poke it actually into your paper. You can manipulate and move these as you want until you get them exactly where you want them. I want this one to be a little bit higher. Let's add another glue dot to the back of this sticker. I buy glue dots in a variety of sizes. This one happens to be a large glue dot. I also buy them in small. So you can see it just brings a little bit of color, and I'm going to bring that green color back in just a second. I bought these heart-shaped stickers. They're from Maya Road, and while I could use it the way that it looks like right now, I actually want to alter it. And so in order to do that, I cut the sticker from the background, and then I select a stamp that I like. This is a Studio Calico stamp that has an alphabet. And I design with intention, meaning that I think about how everything coordinates on the page. For instance, an alphabet background stamp makes sense for a page about reading. So perhaps a floral background stamp would make sense for a project about a girl or stars for a boy, or you can just do it however your personal style is. So I've placed the sticker on, and I use a brayer, and that allows the image to go into the sticker. And then I'm going to peel off the sticker and holding it in my fingers, and it's a very, very light stamping. It's almost barely there. I'm going to use some pigment ink in brown and go around the edges. Look for a stamp pad that is a little bit softer. This makes this process just a little bit easier. And then rather than placing the sticker directly on that top corner, I'm going to use some adhesive foam squares on the back of the sticker. So a sticker can also be raised. You just need to add foam dots in enough places on the sticker that it will stay lifted. This particular sticker is quite thin, so I want to make sure I give it enough depth. Then I have this particular pendant sticker from Jenny Boleyn. It says "Read This," which is again highly appropriate, and we'll just stick that, center that over the heart. All right, now let's go ahead and add this part of our layout, and to do that I'm going to start with a doily. Doilies add good texture to any project, and you can find these at any cake decorating store, or you can find them in craft stores. They're just very easy to locate. This is the photo that I'm going to incorporate, and I took some books that I loved and I actually staged the photo and made it look nice, and so I knew I wanted to document this story, so I staged the photo accordingly. And then I'm going to use glue dots to adhere this to my page. If you are printing from a printer such as Costco or Walmart or an online photo printer that you like, they can print them on in pretty much a lot of different sizes. However, when I print at home, the backing is a little bit slick and it doesn't always take adhesive very well. Alright, so I went ahead and printed out my journaling, and it talks about how I love to read and different classics that I've been introduced to. And then I want to distress the edge. And if you haven't tried these yet, these are so much fun. These are from Prima, and they're fluid chalk ink, and this is in white, and it adds just a subtle color to the end, and you just lightly brush away. You can also drag it, whatever your style is. And they're nice and juicy, meaning they're a little bit softer. And you just add a little more until you get it exactly how you like. They come in a lot of different colors. So if you like inking the edges of your projects, I highly suggest that you try this particular style. And I'm going to temporarily place it down here because first I have a border. So at the bottom of this American Crafts page, there was a fun decorative border, and I have trimmed it a little bit, but it says date, borrower's name, date due, phone number, extension, and signature, which I thought went very well with my theme. Don't be afraid to cut off the ends of those decorative borders and then save them for later. Now I want to add a border to it, a punched border, and I have this border punch, and I've used a notebook border punch. And I'm going to give it a little bit of texture and dimension by folding up the corners. I'm going to rip a few, just like notebook paper. Again, we're designing with intention. We want to make sure we think about what we're adding to the page. Some things don't need to match, and other things we do want them to match. And then I'm going to place that onto the decorative border from the paper. And you could center it, or you can off-center it however you like. And then we'll go ahead and adhere this to our page. Now as I'm looking at this, I realize I'd like to add one additional border down here. So thinking about what I have on hand, I found some Heidi Swapp border, a border strip, and it's in a fringe. If you don't have this particular product, then I suggest you look for Martha Stewart's fringe scissors, and they will cut fringe for you. So either option will work. So we'll add a little bit extra adhesive at the bottom of the journaling, and we'll carefully adhere it to this map border strip. And we'll center it. I thought the map was appropriate because the books I read always take me on adventures. And then you can come back and trim off any excess fringe. just by using some scissors. And then I always save that extra fringe for something else. It would work great on a card or maybe an embellishment I want to use. So let's add a little more adhesive to the back of that. And we'll adhere it here to the page. And then a little more adhesive to our border strip. And we don't want to cover up our journaling, so think about that. And then you'll want to center the strip across the top of the journaling. You can see how it's starting to work. And then with the fringe, I don't like to leave it clean. It will squish a little bit when I put it in an album, but I like to go ahead and add some texture by wrinkling a little bit. Now for my title, I want to add a stamped title. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a foam base. I like to stamp into foam because it gives me a little bit cleaner of a stamped image. And then I have a stamp that says childhood, and then I have a stamp that says celebrate, and these are both from Technique Tuesday. And I'm going to use a brown ink that's a little bit darker, not a lot darker, just a little bit darker. And I'm going to do celebrate childhood. So I want to try and center it. I'll start with the first stamp. Again, get acrylic blocks in a couple of different sizes. This is a nice size for most stamps. If you have a lot of phrases, then go with a thin, long, clear one. You can get them in a variety of different sizes. And we'll add the celebrate. Nice thing about clear stamps is you can see where you're stamping. So it's very forgiving. So there you see the title at the bottom. And then just to add a little bit more of a finished touch, I'm going to go ahead and add some photo corners. These particular photo corners are from Canson, and they are in craft. And I'll just add them to a few key places. These happen to be sticky on the back. Not all of them are. I'll just add one right there. So there you have a layout that focuses on a passion that I have, which is reading. Thank you for joining me for this edition of Memories Made. Please see the link below for the complete supply list for creating this layout. I will also include similar products in case some of these items are out of stock. Look for a new Memories Made with Jen Gallacher video coming soon.